And we talked a lot about the Heisman this week, but there's also something very special on Saturday, the Army-Navy game. It is truly one of the most remarkable events on the calendar, and this is the 122nd. Rich DeMarco joining us, the voice of Army and also the Associate Athletic Director. Rich, what a pleasure to have you with us. Good afternoon, and how are you?
No, I'm doing great. It's a great week. It's a beautiful Army Navy week, and it's truly an honor to be on with you here today.
It's something that a lot of us, we turn the page from the championship games and we go through the week, and then we watch it Saturday afternoon. But what does it mean to just from somebody from your perspective, from that athletic department? I would imagine this is something that is not just something on the calendar. It takes a lot of planning.
Now, it is something that is circled all year for the players, the staff, the cadets, the graduates. It's something where, like I say, you could be 11-1 and lose to Navy. There's a tarnish on the season. You could be 1-11 and have that one win against Navy, and there's still a ton of pride for the season. And that is how extreme it is, this game. And to hear from folks that are not only stationed maybe back at West Point, but across the country, around the world during this week in the lead up, it gives you chills. It's just one of the things that makes college football the greatest sport, and Army Navy having its place on this standalone weekend, this standalone Saturday, is one of the many things that's so special about this sport.
The game this year is at MetLife. So often it's in Philadelphia. It's been at a lot of places over the years. How is that determined?
So when the bid went out to lay out the game's 5 or 6 year period, this game was targeted to move into the New York City area. Of course, 20 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks, and MetLife Stadium sits a mere 10 miles from Ground Zero in Lower Manhattan. So it's such a spectacle every year, Army Navy. Just the emotion with it being 20 years since September 11th is just going to add even more of a patriotic and emotional angle to what already is such a great day.
On that campus this week, Rich, I mean, we've had retired generals on, and you know how they feel about this game. But what is it like, for the cadets, for everyone who's associated with Army at West Point?
It is just the week that really unites everyone. There's a ton that unite people at West Point, from the willingness to serve, being in the Army, these amazing cadet athletes. And I often say Army Navy, at least for me, and I happen to be a big college football fan in addition to calling the Army games on the radio. There are so many rivalries that if I was at the game, I might not have a particular rooting interest. Let's say I went to an Iron Bowl. I just want to see a great football game. If I went to USC, UCLA, I would love to just see a great football game. But everyone has a connection to Army or Navy. Either they served, they had a family member who served, they have someone they grew up with, went to high school or college with. So of all the rivalries, I'm not sure if there is a game where more people have a rooting interest than the Army Navy game. And it just cascades and it compounds. And being around West Point, from the bonfire last night to the pep rally we had yesterday, the team leaving to go down to New Jersey today, and all the pomp and circumstance tomorrow. It's the end of the regular season, unofficial start of the bowl season, and this truly Army Navy weekend.
No, Rich, you're right, and everyone you said has a story. My own is it's the first game I remember watching in college football. Why? Because my dad served in the Army, and I became an Army fan for life. I wouldn't dare pull for Navy, even though I've got a nephew who's a Annapolis graduate and is a pilot. It's just one of those things, and I cannot imagine, though, as we look toward the game Saturday, the pressure, because I know these young men have dealt with so many other things in their life, and they'll be doing things far more important than playing in a college football game, and they already are. But how would you describe getting them prepared to play this game?
Well, all year is a preparation for Navy. I mean, they're thinking about it, they're working on it in preseason and during the year. I think the fact that both teams, and I don't know if they're actual mirror images of each other, because as you know, there's many different flavors and styles of the triple option where you can put Army, Navy, Air Force in a basket, but there are a lot of differences in how they run their offenses. So there's a constant There's a constant preparation throughout the year. But this game, you look at execution, but this game has turned down to toughness, special teams, turnovers, all those little things that really the more focused team, the more just generally prepared team, the team that is more fired up, for lack of a better word, oftentimes comes out victorious in this game. And for Army winning 4 out of the last 5 years, I mean, they're truly a team that's taken on the personality of their head coach and Jeff Monken. And Jeff was talking yesterday at a pep rally and said, hey, there's a difference between wanting to win and believing you're going to win. And that's probably the best way I could describe these years since December of 2013 when Jeff Monken was hired as head coach. Is this is a team that over time has gone from wanting to win to believing they can win any ball game they're in.
Rich, clearly from your standpoint, you're prepared for the game. You have a little more time for this one than any other one. But as you're doing the broadcast, from a broadcasting sense, what is that moment? I know the game, however the game will turn out, but is there a moment as you're sharing what you're seeing with the audience that it really does overwhelm you with goosebumps and understanding the scene and the stage?
I think the end of the game, and especially after Army victories, I like to say that Army-Navy plays out really in 3 acts. There's the pomp and circumstance of the opening act, from the flyovers to the national anthem to all the patriotic tributes. There's 3 hours of battle on the football field where each team is facing the team they want to beat the most throughout the year. And then the final act, when they come together arm in arm, and after battling and being enemies for those 3 hours, they're singing each other's alma mater. So when you get to the point where this game is fiercely contested, Army comes out with a dramatic victory, knowing 5 minutes later, 3 minutes later, they're all going to be standing integrated with each other, singing each other's alma mater. And I think that's what gives me goosebumps, because you realize these guys are really teammates on the greatest team this country has to offer.
What an amazing description. And we cannot wait. Thanks for making time, Rich. It's a pleasure to get to know you, and to say the least, we will all be watching and listening this weekend. You be well.
Well, thanks, Paul. Glad you're on the Army side, and I appreciate that, and hopefully we can talk down the road.
You can count me in. We're proud. And maybe I may have some family issues, but I don't care. My dad trumps all. Be well. Have a great game.
Thank you.
Yeah, and by the way, before we go, let me just mention the Army-Navy game in terms of if you could go to the ArmyNavyHouse.com website. The USSA has some offers that I think everyone will enjoy. So we thank Rich. We'll talk to somebody from the Navy tomorrow, not the Navy, but the Naval Academy, and we will be right back with your phone calls.